it's because of a long time ago there were lots of oak trees in this area, and the borough part. We call communities and developments and neighborhoods. Some places, like even in Mississippi still, they will call those boroughs. Instead of saying I lived in the Red Cross community, they would say I live in the Red Cross borough. Well, anyway, they call them boroughs. So we think maybe they got that oak because of the trees, the borough because of how people used to call things a borough. We don't know. We've not found any record of how it was actually named. There is something somewhere that somebody got $5 for naming the town of Oakboro, but it didn't tell why or why it came up with that name. Areas you put out salt blocks for the deer to lick. All right, that pile of rocks, that area right there on the branch, it was salty. It was salty, and the deer would go there, and the other animals and things would go there, and they would lick it. But it was the big lick. That's where it was a bigger area than this. So when they got ready to name the town, when they were first started talking about the railroad might come through and this and that, they named the town, and they said, "What are we going to call it?" And they said, "Well, we've always called this area the Big Lick, called it the Big Lick, so why don't we just say Big Lick?" And so that's how it got its name, because of that area right there where the deer and the cows would go to lick the salty rocks and the dirt. They would lick the dirt. So that's how Big Lick got its name. Now, there used to be a pond right there. And some boys one night went down to the river and got a bunch of frogs, caught frogs, and put them in bags, in sacks like you put corn in. And they brought them back and they dumped them in the pond. Well, back then, all the people didn't have air conditioning. They had to have their windows up. Well, all night long, those frogs, you ever heard frogs croaking? I mean, make a horrible noise. If you can imagine hundreds and hundreds of frogs, because they caught, and my uncle was one of them, he said they brought 3 big sackfuls of frogs back and dumped them in the pond. Well, people for a month couldn't sleep because it made so much noise there and so that's when they started calling that particular area Frog Pond. Now,